Hey guys, it's Friday. Rye and ginger with some cherries. Thank you, Sheena. Alright, so I have a request. Oh, let me get all that condensation off my spot. I have a request today to look at if the fall of BoJo is a good thing for the rest of the geopolitical landscape. The fall of BoJo. I'm trying to be careful of the words I say. I don't have enough followers to really be a target, but you know, you have to be careful what you say when you say it. Let's get a read on that with the mausoleum deck. Let's get a general energy read. Is the fall of Mr. BoJo an indicator of positive changes coming on a global geopolitical landscape? So we start with the Golden Empress. Jewel of Abydos. Potency, confidence, and magnetism. And the way that these cards work is you have a fulcrum. And then you have both sides of the seesaw. So if the fulcrum is confidence, you have potency on one side and magnetism on the other. You see? Nyx, enchantress of the night. The fulcrum is vigilance. The two sides of the seesaw are secrets and subterfuge. And here I am, the Morrigan, weaver of fate. I am also a naiad. The fulcrum is introspection. The two sides of the seesaw are antipathy and opposition. And in the shadow position, shadow not being bad, but that which is not yet fully realized, manifested, or in a form that is necessarily articulatable. Stagnation is the fulcrum. Fame and pride, sit on either side of the poet of Avon, who is the storyteller. Ooh, man, that was rough. So a general mood on the question, is the fall, is it a takedown? Is the fall of Mr. BoJo indicative of positive change geopolitically across the spectrum, since we do not live in the land of BoJo? Some of us live in the land of DeSantis. So general mood, the factors we have playing are cult of personality. Either way you look at it, it's cult of personality. Vigilance, keeping going from that place of the dark, that shadow land, that conscious place where keeping going can go either way. It all depends on the frequencies that apply to it. And why I live the way I live, why I think the way I think, the land of the Morrigan. We stand as witness to that which is occurring around us, and we offer a black mirror, a scrying mirror, so that you can decide for yourself what your next move will be, what your fate will be. Interesting, I think the most significant card actually is the card in the shadow position. Stagnation has definitely come to the land of BoJo. Not only BoJo, the new mayor of San Francisco that I left California for, Nancy Pelosi's nephew. Let's just say the New York City I lived in was Rudy Giuliani's New York City. I don't need to say any more than that. And there are many more. There is a stagnation in that entire structure that actually moves very effectively between both of these, fame and pride. Very effectively. I'm feeling that's the most portentous card here. The secrets are going to reveal the opposition that has been put in place. The magnetism is going to reveal itself as being used as potency that was affected by magnetism to affect really nothing effective but forcing a position of introspection. All I keep hearing is this card right here. That's all I hear. Of course, I hear the Morrigan card because I am that. I am that woman standing there with crows on my shoulders. That is me. Stagnation. All of this has hit the realm of stagnation. Far beyond even, perhaps, the realms that we realize. I think the answer quickly based on those cards is yes, but it will not be an easy ride. This is the Pintar deck, Dulak Pintar. This question is much too corrupt to ask my beautiful Relativity Tarot or Sun and Moon, and it's far too dirty and harsh to ask my Hush deck, which is all about animals. So let's look at Dark Emotion Tarot, which is what the Dulak deals with. Is the fall of BoJo and his cabinet and facade an indicator of more positive change coming geopolitically. Let me just say, when the Morrigan comes up, a mirror is going to be thrust into your face. No matter who you are, a Morrigan a black scrying mirror is going to be thrust into your face, and like it or not, you are going to be forced into introspection and the revelation that comes of it. And if you are smart, you have already done your work so that you know where your horns are and you know about the birds that light on your shoulders. If you're smart, you've already done that shadow work. If not, you're in for a very painful surprise. So is the fall of BoJo and his manufacturing regime indicative of positive geopolitical changes to come. Cheers. Thank you again, Sheena. And we start with the Seven of Swords. Holy cow. Strategy. That indicates us in the position of asking. Not just us like you and me, but the geopolitical collective, the mere peasants that we are. The consideration of the fall of BoJo and it being a harbinger of positive changes to come geopolitically across the planet is represented by the sun. That's a pretty strong yes. That's a knock you off your bicycle yes. We have had to fight through strategy and hiding in safe places from the marauders below. Strategy. Both sides of the Seven of Swords have to strategize. What came in the past to create this? Aha, you see why I picked this deck for a question like this? Yes, Nine of Swords. Yeah. Yes, it has already ended. The difficulty, the wet works, shall we say, have already been done. Currently, what is the relationship here between we, the plebeians, and those forces that create things like the cult of personality that was BoJo and his empire? 4 cards on the table. We've already got 2 major arcana. Massively fast changes are happening. You decide if the man who has been in the news the last couple months is even the actual gentleman we're talking about. You make that decision yourself. That's none of my business what you think about that. Completion here. Bloody, sinister. From this card, personal. And quite an assault, a fatal one. From that, we come into an incredibly rapid time of change. Interesting. The Chariot is 7. This is also 7. So we've got 2 7s. In metasymbology, I am a 7. I'm a 7 of diamonds. I relate to 7 in all things. strategy and change. Thinking that has to change very quickly because the landscape is changing. And the grandness of change, the physics of change, the complete fractal application of all dimensions of change. With two white horses running fast. A lot is changing very quickly. What can we anticipate to come of this in the near future? There's been a lot of disruption here. It's going to create a lot of passion and focus. This movement manifesting into the passion of personal movement that can be applied in the direction you want, or the powers that be want, or the collective wants. A lot of energy. Let's clarify that a little bit. Page of Cups. And if you remember the Page of Cups in the Rider-Waite, it's a young, almost effeminate boy. He's got a cup that he's staring into, and there's a fish that's crawling out of the cup. New feelings, new ways of communicating. New potential in that manifestation of the communication world. New evolutions of the unconsciousness of the water. You see, this page is not a young man. He has a steaming cup of tea. The steam is fluid too. That's the plasma, the ether. Moving into new ways of thinking and communicating, and understanding the importance of what we hold in our own cup. As a result of this ending sacrifice, rapid change, and then taking that change and doing something deliberate with it. To our own personal cup. A little bit more. Okay, now we're getting into the geopolitics, right? We're getting into the Three of Pentacles. We're getting into the movement of money. We're getting into here we have cooperation and new feeling and thinking and communication. Now we have new communication where it comes to worldly goods, the bread of life, the stability of your home, your job, how you commence business. And though I personally don't find this card particularly positive because of the images involved, we're still talking about commerce and the possibility of coming together and creating commerce. What I like about this card and its reliance on religious symbology is that it reminds us that the intention behind the commerce is as important as the commerce itself. So, for instance, making as much money as possible simply because you can or you have the opportunity is not necessarily good business. It's certainly not ethical business. And there's a lot of magic in this card. I will let you decide if that magic is white or black. I think anything that involves hats and cloaks and garments is black magic. A little more. Okay, this is good. So we've got the Page of Cups and we've got the Fool. So this is good. We had a brutal end that involved a double sacrifice. Okay. That moved us into a rapid time of tumultuous change. And if you look at this card, it's, you know, it's pretty brutal. You know, this guy is dropping stuff on the horses. This is a pretty brutal change card. Being a 7, though, and a Morrigan, I don't have any problem with change. And I kind of float through violence and opposition in a watery way, or I just get up and fly away. And that brings us into an opportunity to take all of this energy and turn it into something personal that we can use however we want. We can use that fire and that inspiration. If we can disassociate from whether it's good or bad, and we simply take it and we let the fire burn it, the fire of our own passion and our own inspiration, and we let the fire burn it so that it moves up into the heavens as clouds, and we simply use that pure ether to fuel, that pure plasma to fuel our direction. We have a great opportunity to move into something remarkable and new. Something new. Something new that is still being transformed. With all of this potential, we are reminded that the intention behind the action, the intention behind the running, and the intention behind what you put in the cup, the intention is important. What's behind the intention? That's what I see in this card. I'm sure if I were to get the book, it would tell you something different, but that's what I see. And we move into the Fool. Sacrifice, change, an opportunity to have pure fire that we build anew. Transform that fire into emotional, communicative success. Be mindful of what your intentions are and where they're coming from and who your collaborators are. Be as the Fool. We're starting over. We have an ending here and a starting over here. So the Fool has moved through this process very quickly, and we are starting over. Wow. Wow, on either sides. Clarifying the reading, we have the Fool and the Lovers. Kind of clarifying this right here. We have all this energy, a potential to be new and transformative. You know, the steam in the cup is very transformative, just as the yeast in the bread is transformative. This cup just reminds us to pay attention to who and what is behind us, and who does the Grail serve? These are kind of clarifying that even more. We're starting over, completely over. The Fool's journey is beginning anew, and there is great cooperation and fairness ahead of us. Just alone, if you look at all the major arcana that's in this reading, it's pretty significant. Second card we pulled was the Sun. fourth card we pulled was the Chariot, the Fool, and the Lovers. I would have to say that, kind of confirming what the oracle cards told us prior, everything is being revealed. What's ever in that cup is being revealed through the process of the steam. What's behind the leavening of the bread, and who does it serve? It's all being revealed. All of it. That black, dark, scrying mirror that forces you to look within yourself to see the truth. I haven't looked at the bottom of the deck. What has been at the bottom of the deck all this time? A Nine of Pentacles. So that shadow position, shadow not bad, shadow that which is not yet fully realized. Perhaps it is not yet in a form of knowing in ourselves that is articulate, or it is in the form of a tool we can use. More new, not as new as a page. Problem with the Knight of Pentacles is, as you can see, this card very beautifully illustrates it. He's so easily distracted. He's on a big, noble horse. Look at, the horse is not very pleased with him. He's distracted. These worldly things, these shiny objects, these distractions from his knightly course, he's very susceptible to them. So it can go either way. You can be a guardian of the sense of security, of worldly stability, money, home, job, providence, reliability, or you can be a magpie looking for shiny objects. Do you become a guardian of your pentacles? Or do you become a wanderluster looking to collect more of them? That is your choice. We are in a great time of manifestation here. We have the fire of running, we have the steam rising from the cup, and we have the ability to leaven bread and multiply it. And all the while, we have to be mindful of, are we going to be a protector of that resource, or are we going to be distracted and always looking for more? Let's wrap this up. Let's wrap it up with one of my new cards, my new deck cards. I still have to use the book because this is new. So, the Enchanted Map Oracle cards. So, let's take one card that can serve as advice for how this situation, which is quite dynamic with all this major arcana, and the Fool, where it can lead us. I just want to say the last two cards, I put down were the Fool and the Lovers. So, to you, and you know who you are, You who asked for this reading, you know who you are. The end of the reading was the Fool and the Lovers, so we're starting over. It has been a brutal, dirty, nasty, strategic, sacrificial, painful process, especially for people in the UK, in the world of BoJo. I live in the world of DeSantis. But we've moved through this powerful chariot moment into this great time of transformation, and what's sitting on either side of us now is the reestablishment of a new journey and the groundedness and understanding and respect of the stability of a 6, a peaceful number, moving us forward. We just have to be mindful of the fact that because we are human, sometimes we need to remind ourselves what we're up on our horse for. Are we there to gather pentacles? Or are we there to protect the realm so that the pentacles can flourish? So, with this change, and its effect, or it being a symptom of a larger geopolitical action, what can we, even us that are not in the UK, learn? Not learn. What can help us? What wisdom can we take away from this? We plebeians who only have the opportunity to strategize our own survival, because those who run the landscape, unfortunately, have infinitely more power so far than we do. What can this shift in power and plasma and potential expansion, the rising of bread, what can we take away from all of this change that will help us? Sorry, I didn't do that very well. What can we take away from this that will help us? Storm fields. I'm going to have to read that. Storm fields. This, too, shall pass. An uncomfortable chaos is surrounding you. An uncomfortable chaos is surrounding you. An uncomfortable chaos is surrounding you. Things that you've left unattended may be the cause of some conflict. Pent-up energy needs release. Just as in a storm, nature must break. For those events occur when the electricity between opposing forces stirs things up and creates temporary disorder. Temporary disorder. Not all storms are destructive. Rather, they serve nature by bringing rain to the ground and wind to the trees, enabling seeds to be widely distributed and continuous growth to be ensued. Just remember that whatever is being stirred up inside you or between you with another will benefit you later. The sun will shine again. New growth will be observed. Don't be afraid to shake things up a little. This too shall pass. Yeah, it is not going to be easy. It is not going to be fun. But remember that straight out the gate, I mean, the second card, the card that represented the fall of BoJo, was the sun. It's already over. Not only is it already over, but it's already been transformed. And what we're in now is a process of the trickling down of this transformation. And that is not going to be easy, but this is well behind us. A lot of energy was used here. A lot of energy has to be dispersed. But remember, where we sit now, we are in this beautiful time of complete renewal. So, watch the storm with respectful fascination. Trust your instincts. Everything is going to come together in its own time. This is a card of inner work. This is not some other chick or some other dude. This is you. You know the best way to find you? With that black scrying mirror that forces you to look into yourself and find the serpents that are wrapped around your hips and the horns that are growing out of your head and all of the birds that light upon your arms. Go in, my friends. This is not about running off with someone and trysting in the Garden of Eden. This is about that kind of passion that you have with you. There is you that you understand yourself to be. And then there is the you that you might not know very much about. But that is the you that you need to have this kind of passionate intimacy with. If you do that, that will balance this and keep you safe. Because it's coming, baby. It's coming. And remember what sits behind us. On the fulcrum of vigilance, since subterfuge and secrets. Secrets aren't bad. Everybody has secrets. What's the intention behind your secrets? Is the purpose of your secrets subterfuge? Well, then you're an asshole. On the fulcrum of confidence, sense potency and magnetism. What are you trying to achieve? Are you trying to be confident and lead? Or are you trying to be a cult of personality and pull people in and manipulate them? Look deep inside. Own your horns. Own your serpentine nature. Own the birds that fly, including the birds that eat carcasses on the side of the road. It's coming. It's coming, it's coming, it's coming. And you're okay. If you have the attitude of a fool, you look at this in great wonder. And with that attitude of a fool, if you simply go in and own everything that you find inside and create this infinity symbol, you are unshakable. So I think the answer to the question is yes. The question is the fall of BoJo and that regime indicative of a positive change geopolitically? This is the most geopolitical card that we laid down. Yes, but we have to be aware still of who stands in the back And who's the bread for? Who's the bread for? Who paid for the bread? Who's the bread for? And what is the sharing of the bread bringing about? Let's keep these things in mind. Who is the commerce for, and who is watching the commerce? And are we going to be protectors of the potency and the sacredness of the manifesting power of the pentacles, the spiritual power to manifest, and the freedom to have the confidence to manifest? Are we as a knight going to protect that, or are we going to be distracted and simply fill our pockets with more shiny things? I think these are the most harbinger cards of the spread. But I think the answer is yes. It's definitely good. It's an indicator of more to come. It's not going to be easy. And that was a very general read. Is this a harbinger of good to come geopolitically? It's a little broad, it's a little vague, but yes, it's good. There's a lot of energy coming. We're going to have to find our ways to place that energy into forms that serve us and understand that storms are coming. So be prepared to ground in humility and introspection. So you know who you are. I hope that helped you. Thank you.